In this lesson, we'll bring our focus back to the whole upper body and see if we can do any tweaks before we're ready to go back to work on the legs. So this is a pretty crucial step where we go back and check and even double check our work to make sure everything looks right. We don't want to neglect this process because it may save us time in the end from having to redo work. Okay, let's say if our character was off balance, for example, we'd have to add a few tweaks here and there and then possibly tweak other parts of the character. So by doing this, we can avoid that by seeing if we can fix any poses that may be off. So again, please do not neglect this in your own projects as well, and we'll even do this step towards the end of the kit as we're wrapping it up. But let's bring back our control curves so we can show the rest of our upper body, the head and the upper body as well. And we're going to start by just running off a few play blasts in multiple views, and we could start with the top view. Let's go there. And we'll make sure our range slider is all the way back to its start time, frame 1. And we want to make sure that our character is in shot. And the crate too, but mainly the character. Okay, so we can start by rendering one from this angle. Here it is. Okay, everything's looking pretty good, but we do have this area here as the character is pushing into the crate. He's doing it more favoring his left side where we'd want him more centered. Okay, so we'll work on that now. Let's close out our play blast, and we'll first go to our perspective and graph editor view, then switch this panel from our perspective to our top view. Once we've done that, we can bring down this divider here, select the center of gravity, and just go to the translate X. Okay, so as the character's coming in, as he's pushing in, we're going to want him to center out at around frame 32. So on 32, we'll go there and translate him so that he's a bit more centered. Okay. Then as he's pushing, we'll want another key just before he pushes off. Okay, so right at that time where he's about to push off on frame 57, we'll do the same thing to straighten him out a little bit more. There in the X. Great. So with that done, let's go ahead and do another play blast in the top view again. We will hide our curves and start back. Okay, once we've done that, make sure our character's in shot and render one off. How about from this view? Here it is. Okay, so notice now that's much better. Okay, so there's the top view looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and check out a back view. So we'll go back to our perspective. We could go to our 4-panel view. There's our perspective. Okay, and now we'll go to more of a back view. Okay, we'll start back our animation and making sure we can really see our character in a nice big view like this, so we can make sure we're not missing anything. We'll go ahead and render one off. Here it is. Okay, so the back view looks fine. Looks pretty good. Let's check out a side view now. Close this out. And what we can do is just select this of the camera ornament going into more of an X-axis, but on the character's right side. Start back from the beginning and hit play. How about from here? Here it is. Great, so the side view looks good too, but there are a few things we can fix up. For one, notice the head as the character is pushing. Notice how it's slowly rotating up in the X. Well, that's not going to happen. It's going to stay pretty constant throughout the push. Okay, and then it's going to move afterwards after the character is done pushing and then just pushes off and goes back. That needs to be fixed, and also the rotate Y of the head, okay, as he's turning out looking more towards the camera, that needs to be fixed because it's happening a little bit too fast. So with those in mind, let's go ahead and close this out, and we'll go to our, again, perspective and graph editor view, switch this to our perspective, going to orthographic perspective. There we go. And once we've done that, let's also show our curves here. Select the head control and go to our rotate X. And for the head, as it's coming up, the reason why we're getting that is because of this key on frame 50. So all we need to do is just take it, hold shift, the middle mouse button, click and drag up some. Not so that we get a flat line. We should still have movement. We always want movement, some type of movement going on, especially in organic characters, unless there's a plant happening. But so we'll just move it up like this. Okay, so that the head is again staying pretty constant in the X as the character is pushing. Okay, and now we can focus on the Y, fixing that up. So for this, what we want to have happen is, as the head's turning on frame 30, we actually want it to happen a little bit later on, maybe about frame 38. So let's take this key on frame 30 and actually move it to 38. Okay, but now we don't want this long transition going from frames 20 all the way to 38. So what we want to do here is on 30, just rotate the head a little bit more into the crate. Okay, so let's do that. Maybe a little bit more. Then we could take this tangency here and fix it to get a nice flow. We'll get a better view of it to see the actual flow of our F curve. Great, so when we scrub through, that's much better. And we could do another play blast to check out our fixes. So let's do just that. And we could render one off from here. Here it is. Alright, so that's much better. Now with these play blasts done and our fixes made, we're just about done. Let's go back to our perspective view, which is right here. Okay, and we'll just select the center to go back to more of our perspective. Okay, and we'll want to show our floor. Let's go back to nerve surfaces. There we go. And we're just about finished. Okay, we've finished the major details of our upper body, but what we need to do is bring our focus more to the fingers now for the follow through. Okay, we need to have them spread in a little bit more as they're coming down because they're too wide right now. So let's show our curves, and we'll may need to just go to our menu here under show. And we can start with the left hand, and all we need to do is make simple fixes just to make sure that the fingers are spreading as they're coming back down. Okay, so we already have a key on 72, okay, just before the character's dropping his hands. And now on about 82, let's go there, and in our spread channel, let's close up the spread of the fingers. Great, so that's much better as the fingers are coming down. Awesome. And that's all there is to it. So we'll just do the same thing to the right wrist to finish it up. So again, we'll focus on the spread channel. Okay. And just as the hand is coming down, let's go to about frame 70, and we'll key our spread. We need a key there. And once the hand falls, that's falling first. So for this, we can go to about 79 and close up the spread here. Great. So with that done, that now actually wraps up our upper body, and we are ready to go ahead and bring back the legs. So again, this finishes this lesson. In the next lesson, we're going to spend the time now bringing back the legs and begin finalizing them.